Is VR the future of gaming or just a passing fad? Let's explore the most immersive virtual worlds yet. Why is virtual reality gaming capturing the attention of gamers everywhere? Virtual reality has moved beyond science fiction. What was once a futuristic dream is now a fast-growing reality, literally. With VR headsets like MetaQuest, HTC Vive, and PlayStation VR becoming more accessible, immersive gaming is no longer reserved for tech enthusiasts. The promise of VR is total immersion. Instead of watching your character on a screen, you become the character. You physically turn, duck, swing, and interact with the environment around you. It's an entirely new way to experience gaming, more engaging, more visceral, and far more memorable. But VR isn't just about flashy graphics or novelty. It's changing how we think about interaction, storytelling, and competition. From first-person shooters to fitness games and narrative adventures, the VR library is growing in both depth and diversity. We'll explore the best immersive VR games out there today, review the hardware and user experience, and answer one big question. Is VR gaming worth the hype or just an expensive gimmick? Why does VR feel so different from console or PC gaming? The biggest difference lies in immersion. In traditional gaming, you're watching the action unfold. In VR, you're in the action. Instead of pressing a button to swing a sword, you physically swing your arm. That alone drastically shifts how the game feels and plays. VR relies heavily on motion tracking, spatial audio, and haptic feedback. These elements combine to fool your senses into believing the virtual world is real. For example, hearing footsteps behind you while exploring a dark forest in VR triggers a much more primal reaction than hearing them through regular speakers. Because VR taps into your body movements, it adds a layer of physicality that's impossible on a traditional controller. Dodging bullets in super hot VR, or ducking arrows in The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, turns gaming into a full-body experience. Another key difference is scale and perspective. Games like Half-Life Alyx let you lean into drawers, manipulate tiny items, and interact with environments in a way that feels personal and tactile. It's less about watching a character perform, and more about feeling like you're in their shoes. This sensory connection can make VR gaming far more intense, emotionally engaging, and immersive. But it also means it's not for everyone, especially those sensitive to motion sickness or those new to this level of input. What are the most immersive VR games currently blowing players' minds? Half-Life Alyx remains the crown jewel of VR gaming. With breathtaking graphics, intuitive physics, and top-tier storytelling, it shows what's possible when a major studio takes VR seriously. The attention to detail is unmatched, and you can pick up and examine nearly every item in the game. Beat Saber, on the other hand, is a rhythm game phenomenon. You slash glowing blocks to the beat of music while dodging obstacles. It's easy to learn, hard to master, and offers a full-body workout. No surprise it's a top-selling VR title. Boneworks takes physics-based interaction to the next level. From climbing and jumping to realistic weapon handling, every action in the game is determined by real-world movement. It's technical, but deeply rewarding for hardcore players. If you want multiplayer thrills, Population 1 delivers a battle royale experience with vertical combat, climbing, flying, and shooting, all in a dynamic environment that makes you feel like a superhero. And for horror fans, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners offers gritty combat, plus resource scavenging, and an intense atmosphere that keeps you on edge. These titles push VR to its limits, proving it's more than just a novelty. What gear do you need to get started with virtual reality gaming? Getting into VR starts with choosing the right headset. Popular options include the MetaQuest 3, which was formerly Oculus and is wireless and standalone, and the Valve Index or HTC Vive, which require a powerful gaming PC. Then there's PlayStation VR 2, built for PS5 users with high-end visuals and adaptive triggers. Standalone systems like the MetaQuest are more affordable and portable. You don't need a PC or console, and setup takes minutes. But with lower processing power, they might not run the most graphically intense titles. That's where tethered headsets connected to a PC shine. You'll also need room to move. While some VR experiences can be played seated, many games require space to stand, walk, and swing your arms. Most setups recommend a clear play area of at least 6 feet by 6 feet for full freedom of movement. Comfort is another factor. Some headsets can feel heavy after extended sessions, while others include adjustable straps and better balance. Accessories like extended batteries, padded face covers, and upgraded audio headsets enhance the experience. And don't forget controllers. Most VR systems come with motion-sensing hand controllers, but some are experimenting with hand tracking, allowing you to use your real fingers instead of buttons. As VR hardware evolves, immersion deepens. Why isn't everyone switching to VR yet? Despite its potential, VR gaming comes with a steep learning curve. One of the most common issues is motion sickness, especially in games where the movement doesn't match your body's actual position. New players often need time to adjust. Cost is another barrier. High-end PC-tethered systems can cost over $1,000 between hardware and accessories, not to mention the price of a capable gaming PC. Even standalone systems, while cheaper, still represent a significant investment. Setup can also be a hassle. Sensors need calibration, play areas must be cleared, and lighting conditions can affect tracking. In tight spaces or cluttered rooms, immersion can quickly turn to frustration. There's also a lack of consistent quality. While some VR games are incredible, others feel like tech demos or rushed ports. Players may struggle to find content that's deep and polished enough to compete with traditional AAA titles. Lastly, long sessions can be physically tiring. Swinging, ducking, and standing for hours takes a toll. Some see this as a feature, others a drawback. These obstacles prevent VR from becoming fully mainstream, at least for right now. Is VR only for fun, or does it have real-world applications? Virtual reality's potential goes far beyond gaming. In the medical field, it's used to simulate surgeries, treat PTSD, and provide exposure therapy. Patients can confront phobias or recover from injuries in safe, controlled environments through interactive rehabilitation exercises. In education, VR is being used to create immersive learning experiences. History students walk through ancient Rome, engineering students test machinery in 3D space, and astronauts train in simulated zero-gravity environments. The military, police, and first responders use VR for combat and crisis training. These simulations provide safe ways to practice high-risk situations like hostage scenarios or battlefield trauma response without endangering anyone. Corporate training has also adopted VR for everything from customer service simulations to diversity training. It's a more engaging way to retain information, and companies are investing in VR-based onboarding and team-building platforms. This crossover proves VR is more than just a toy, it's a tool. The same technologies that power Beat Saber or Alyx are shaping how we heal, learn, and prepare for real-world challenges. Will VR dominate the gaming industry or fade like past trends? It's the question at the heart of every VR discussion. Right now, VR is growing steadily, but it's still niche. Only a small percentage of gamers own headsets. However, what was once a gimmick is now an evolving platform with real staying power. Technological improvements are making headsets lighter, more powerful, and more affordable. With companies like Meta, Apple, Sony, and Valve investing heavily in VR and mixed reality, the ecosystem is expanding quickly. Cloud gaming, hand tracking, and wireless VR are already here. As these become more polished and widely adopted, the line between virtual and real will continue to blur, making VR more accessible and intuitive for everyone. The key challenge is content. Gamers want deep, polished, story-driven experiences that rival console titles. As more developers gain experience designing for VR, this demand is starting to be met, but there's still work to do. Whether or not VR becomes the dominant form of gaming, one thing's clear: it's here to stay. For those ready to dive in, the future is already unfolding, one headset at a time. What have we learned about the current state and future of VR gaming? Virtual reality is more than just a gimmick. It's a revolutionary leap in how we play, feel, and connect through gaming. While it isn't perfect, it's evolving rapidly and offering experiences that can't be found on any flat screen. Immersion is the key. VR lets us inhabit the worlds we once only observed. It brings us closer to our characters, our challenges, and ourselves, creating emotional highs that traditional gaming rarely achieves. Despite its hurdles, motion sickness, setup costs, and limited space, it continues to win over developers and gamers alike. As headsets improve and content matures, the VR frontier becomes more inviting. Whether you're slicing beats in rhythm games, exploring alien planets, or learning to code inside a 3D world, VR makes gaming feel real in ways we've never experienced before. So is VR the future? Maybe not the only future, but it's definitely a thrilling part of it. And for many, it's already changing the game. What's your favorite VR experience, or the one game you'd love to try in virtual reality? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell for more immersive reviews and gaming deep dives. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.